We have gathered here, all of us have gathered here to offer our deepest respect and gratitude to Ratan Tata, whom the world has lost yesterday, and we are here at EIL in Kolkata's corporate boardroom to offer our collective respect and gratitude to him in honor of his great soul. At the outset, we all pray to God for the peace and emergence of this great soul of Ratan Tata through a silence of a minute.
Sir, Professor Dr. R.P. Banerjee sir. Today we gather to honor and remember a truly remarkable man, Mr. Ratan Tata. His passing has marked an end of an era. However, it is very important for us to understand the incredible life and legacy that he has left behind. Mr. Ratan Tata is not only understood as a visionary businessman, but a man who was considered as a guiding light to industry and philanthropy. Mr. Ratan Tata, as a chairman of the Tata Group, transformed Tata's as a business conglomerate, a global conglomerate, all the while adhering to the principles of ethics and trust. Under his leadership, Tata as a brand came to be symbolized on the values of excellence, social responsibility, and quality. His unwavering commitment to values in the fast-paced corporate world speaks volumes of his character and leadership. He was committed to the development of the society at large through the Tata Trust. He has done countless initiatives in the areas of health, education, and rural development. He was a man of an international recognition for India. As we miss him, we should carry out his mission. We should consider and commit ourselves for a future where business embodies excellence, trust, commitment, and social responsibility. We hope for a better future.
I request Professor Shuri Chatterjee to say a few words.
Good morning, Chairman sir, and also dear colleague. Ratan Tata, as Professor Sudipto Mitra had elaborated everything in details. Whatever I can add on that, I had seen him personally several times because when I was working in Mumbai, so my office was just opposite to the Bombay House, and in the lunch time, I had seen him more or less every day, and he used to treat the street dogs, and he used to interact with the normal drivers and whatever may be the pedestrians, they are there. So he was a simple person, great human being, an extraordinary soul. So at the same time, not only that, at the same time, he has developed a CSR activity in the organization. Not only his, and with this activity, the other corporate world, business houses, they had also inspired by his that vision. And in the last, I just wanted to say that he has changed the Indian context, Indian business houses to the world global scenario, and he himself had contributed a lot in that area. So this is the thing I just wanted to say about Ratan Tata.
May I request Professor Pitatti to, agar if it is possible, to speak in Hindi to our viewers.
सभी को नमस्कार एंड नमन। इस पूज्य आत्मा को आज हम लोग सभी लोग एकत्रित हुए हैं एक बहुत दुखद दिन पर श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए श्री रतन टाटा को। आज केवल हमारा संस्थान ही नहीं, पूरा भारत शोकमय है एंड और भारत ने एक महान रत्न को खो दिया जिसको पूर्ण करना संभव शायद ना हो पाएगा कभी भी। और वो एक बहुत दूरदर्शी अभिभावक थे कई करोड़ों लोगों के लिए एंड और उन्हें हम हमेशा अपने दिल से लगा के रखेंगे और हमेशा हम लोग याद करेंगे। नमस्कार।
I request Professor Supriyo Paul.
Ratan Tata. A tribute to Sri Ratan Tata. So Ratan Tata is such a figure as an industrialist and philanthropist. He has shown us the pathways and path for creating entrepreneurship. His entrepreneurship journey started with his late Sri J.R.D. Tata. The expansion of Tata started through the eyes and the visionary concept of Sri late J.R.D. Tata. That legacy has been continued and expanded under the leadership of Sri Ratan Tata. That leadership, in such a way, it may be a business, it may be a entrepreneurship, it may be a social, everywhere. The total well-being for the society, the total economic growth of the society, India's development. Tata, the first conglomerate from the Indian perspective, and there they creating the history of India's business concept and the entrepreneurship concept. If the leader is not there, philanthropic leader is not there, visionary leader is not there, so where is the identity of the industry? Where is the identity of that enterprise? That concept has been developed through merger and acquisitions in the global perspective. Sri Ratan Tata, the decision he has been taken. That's why globally accepted Tata today, what we are seeing due to credentials, capability of his visionary leadership. So the India as a country, owe to Sir Ratan Tata in his visions, in his concept, taking care of each and every citizen. When he is developing any idea, Sir has mentioned the nano concept, considering in the micro level that each and every Indian should buy and fetch the service of four-wheelers. That's why the concept, nano concept has been developed. So in the global eyes, why should we consider the Indian enterprises and business houses if we don't venture into the global arena? And that the concept, that the expansion in his mind, and that has been materialized by acquiring Jaguar and other companies. That's why in the global eyes, the Tata has reshaped the India's positions. So we should be thankful and grateful to his leadership, and we lost him, and we pray that this legacy of Tata should be continuing for another 100 years. So it's a great history and great loss for our country. Thank you, sir.
We have with us uh, son of the Singut soil, Professor Abhijit Pakira. He is a professor of Pardon University. Requesting Professor Abhijit Pakira to speak a minute on this.
Namaskar. Pranam sir. Good afternoon. Um, at the outset, I convey my deepest regards and pranam to the departed soul, great Ratan Tata. India has truly lost her Ratan, one of the Ratans. No, Ratan Tata was not only a great son of Mother India, he was a great industrialist, a philanthropist, as well as a great visionary leader. He had transformed the Indian industries at the international level, at the global arena. And not only that, he has been successful in transforming the Indian business houses into the global business arena and business houses. And in the international level, the companies, more than 106 companies under his aegis, under his leadership, they all are at the top. At the same time, Professor Pal was talking about that visionary leader, charismatic leader is very, very important. We are lucky also in this regard, in this respect. I'd like to say that Honorable Professor Dr. R.P. Banerjee sir, the great visionary leader, that great charismatic leader, professor, and a philanthropist himself, also wanted to introduce the concept of Tata's legacy, Tata's way of thinking, Tata's way of functioning in the academia. Perhaps, being a university professor, I am telling you, perhaps for the first time in the country, Honorable Professor Dr. R.P. Banerjee sir has organized two faculty development programs, and I was lucky to be over there in both the faculty development programs on Tatas, purely on Tatas. So that is a true respect shown to this departed soul from the academic forum, from the academia. In that particular faculty development programs, both the programs, more than 300 participants from across India, they participated from the universities, private institutions, government places, and not only that, from academia, industry, so many people had participated and everybody had appreciated. And they got to know the true legacy of Tata, the way, the function, the style, the nature, the pattern. And being a son of the soil of Singur, as Honorable Sir has mentioned, we have lost a great, great hope and opportunity that was, developing for a few months at Singur, that it may so happen that Ratan Tata may return back to Singur once again. Yeah, it is a great loss for Singur people. It is a great loss for West Bengal. It is a great loss for India. And it is a great loss for Mother World. Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Body will rest in peace, not the vision. The legacy will continue. On behalf of the extended member of EILM Kolkata, I convey my deepest regards and pranam to him, to his legacy, to his thoughts, to his visionary leadership. Pranam, sir.
I offer my personal regards and on behalf of all of us to the departed soul, great departed soul of Ratan Tata. Asangsi Jinani Yatha Vihai, Navani Grignati Narupara, Tata Shrirani Vihai, Jinnan Sangyati Navani Te, Ajaho Nitto Shashataho Puran, Nahanyate Hanyamani Shri. The soul does not die. It's an immortality of the soul that we have understood and learned from Lord Krishna in the context of Bhagavad Gita. And that we remember today when we are actually offering our gratitude to Ratan Tata. The journey in his life and in the life of JD also was not very plain, simple, and you know, smooth as walking through the flower beds. It was not. JD had to face the onslaughts of the government, onslaughts of the politicians, group of people, and combined resistance from the industry competitors. He had won that. And it's truly said by our colleagues here that that legacy was actually carried forward by Ratan Tata ji. It was not through, you know, persuasion or seeking salvage or seeking some kind of favor from somebody that he had grown. There are many other instances of such things. But the Tatas have actually, as Dr. Pakir has mentioned, so many companies, more than 100 companies were there, and each one is remarkable in its own thing. In our faculty development program, twice that we have conducted here at ELM Kolkata's DN9 campus at Salt Lake Sector 5 in Kolkata in India. Here we have discussed in two phases. In first phase, we discussed about the Tata principle of management. And in the second phase, we had discussed about the Tata philosophies and values. And the philosophies and values are something which Tatas have adhered to. We had to convene another faculty development program on Bhagavad Gita in order to make it, to understand that the values, the philosophies that they have upheld, that particularly under the leadership of Ratan Tata, it has been more intense. Where, where you find that the values are actually those values which are drawn from the Bhagavad Gita and which are basically in Bhagavad Gita. So those values which are there and those values were introduced, maintained by them. I'll mention that the Jaguar Land Rover JLR acquisition in England was not very smooth. That acquisition had faced a lot of challenges. Even the boardroom, a very close person, I'm not taking the name, I also respect him and his enterprises in India. And but then he had raised a very strong challenge to Ratan Tata, saying that we have, it was his statement, that we have competed with the British steel to establish the Indian steel. But here, what we find is through the acquisition of Jaguar, meaning offering a salvage to Jaguar, the company is actually going to surrender to the British steel, and the company is doing that at the cost of Tata Steel. This was the kind of strong opposition on the in the boardroom and on the face of this chairman, and he had answered, saying that it's not that we are at the salvage of some people of a country or some segment of an industry or some segment of people somewhere at one corner of the world, but it is for the universality. It's for the industry to grow. It's for making the industry better than before. And it's for making the industry to match with the remarkable achievements that it could have, the reaching the heights of the possibilities that we have gone for, and we will prove that. And he had proved that the acquisition was not a failure, rather, it was a very, very successful, and it was rewarding to the shareholders of the group companies. There was an onslaught on the group from the ruling sectors in different phases. One of the largest was for, that was a kind of shareholding attack on the shareholding components of shareholding. And in that, what happened is, the company had to introduce cross-holding as a kind of phenomenon and pattern. And the cross-holding became later on not only a local phenomenon, but it's a global phenomenon. An attempt to acquire that, an attempt to acquire some of the flagship companies of the group, and to make them government companies through acquisitions were also there. These were also underway, and therefore the cross-holding had to be encouraged and make the situations comfortable and very strong in terms of the primary shares and of each of these companies held by the group companies and the company itself. So a lot of the journey was not very simple. Even a close person he had to had a legal battle with, and finally he could win the legal battle in favor of the companies, in favor of the group. Yes, TCS, as my colleague has mentioned, just TC has reached the global corner and it's reached the remarkable achievement, the position of remarkable achievement. There are other companies also in their respective field, they have reached their remarkable achievement. And we had to show a book which we have actually distributed in many hundreds, several hundred of this book we have distributed to many people, to professors, to people in the corporate world. The book is, The Global Corporation That Built Indian Capitalism. Caption is Tata. Written by Marcia Rayanu. It is published by Harvard University Press. Harvard University Press, published in 2021, available here now in India, available in good numbers. What Marcia has actually focused on, why Harvard took such an interest about the Tatas, is not only the numerical achievements of the Tatas, but there's a new type of industrialization, new type of capital formation, wherein the capital is getting formed by the companies in the interest of the shareholders. But at the same time, it's supporting the social cause, it's supporting the social activities, it's supporting the activities of people at large in the world, and irrespective of any kind of identity. There is no discrimination. It's a non-discriminatory initiative and effectively non-discriminative justice provided to people who deserve that people. So such a person is not only a visionary alone. Yes, very recently he has called Narendra Modi as a visionary leader of the country and the world. And long back, you know, JD had called, Mrs. Indira Gandhi also a visionary person. Both are correct in their own observations. And what I would suggest is, yes, there are a lot of things to be taken forward which he has left behind as a legacy. Not only I'm suggesting the group to adapt to that strong strong position and strongly throughout. There are certain values which the group Tata as a whole has upheld throughout and which was very strongly put across by Ratan Tata. For example, the concept of this, nano that he had introduced is a remarkable concept in the world. And I've seen personally in the European, on the European roads and some of the Asian roads on Asian countries, very small, cozy cars are now on the road flying, and people are driving that. And that's a kind of, strength of mind that is provided by nano. Nano is not an instrument. Nano is not a machine. Nano is not just a vehicle. Nano is a phenomenon. Nano is a phenomenon in the world. Nano is a phenomenon in the automobile industry, and that's a phenomenon where you provide the justice to people who would otherwise not get the value or the benefit or the impression or the experience of driving his or her own car. So there are a lot of different areas where he had ventured into his suggestions to the government at different places at different points of time, suggestions before the forum of industries, suggestions for formation and creation of a long-term planning, suggestions for for budgetary activities, suggestions for when this planning commission got replaced by for this other activities. There were a lot of criticisms, but he came up with suggestions, and the suggestions have become now proved very strongly acceptable, and these are giving value to the country. So this is a person who was not for the enterprise, nor was he for his Tata Sons Limited only, nor was he for the group of companies. He was for the industry of India, and I would say that the Harvard publication, they have also Marshall has also come to a conclusion that this is a new type of capitalism, a capitalism where you form capital, where you maintain your shareholders, your stakeholders, but at the same time you put emphasis on the social activities and for the society. There was a question at one point of time. One of our industry minister at the center long back, he wanted to capture the company, saying that this company is not a socialistic company, and because they had in the collaboration some impact from those people, and so and then the company had to make an announcement that yes, we believe in the socialistic pattern of capitalism, and that has come up in the forefront, and the world has accepted this as a new model. This is a new model of industry. This is a new model of trade and commerce. This is a new model of things. I offer my tribute to Ratan Tata. I pray to God for the peace and stability of this great soul. And I request everyone to consider pertaining to your own activities, maybe in academics, maybe in industry, anywhere, to consider the Tata values, particularly those which were upheld by Ratan Tata. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.